2016 could be a year that a wide receiver smashes all the records. Watch out for Antonio Brown, the man with the Tetris haircut. Not gonna lie, it's a hideous hairdo, but he's a perfect fit for that Steelers offense. Marvin Harrison's 143 receptions in 2002 is the all-time mark. Brown and Julio Jones tallied 136 each a year ago, which is tied for second. I'm going to go bold and say that Brown will have not only the single-season receptions record, but eclipse 2,000 yards by season's end. Martavis Bryant is suspended for the season, and Heath Miller just retired. He's the only legitimate wideout that Big Ben has to throw the ball to. And yes, Antonio Brown, he is number one. I didn't think twice about it. 1,834 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was with Ben Roethlisberger missing 5 games. Even in 2014, he had 129 receptions, fourth all-time, to go with 1,698 yards and 13 scores. In my opinion, he's the best route runner in the game. He's only 5'10", 186 pounds, but his route running makes up for it. His quickness out of his breaks is unmatched. His agility, flexibility, and body control are absolutely ridiculous. Brown is also great after the catch, using that agility to go with top-end speed. He was targeted 190 times last year, which is absurd, and dropped just 5 balls all year, which is a pretty good ratio considering he caught 136 passes. There's other receivers that are bigger and stronger than him, but that isn't an issue to me considering how freaking agile he is. Julio Jones checks in at number 2. Here's my thing with him. While the production is obviously there, 136 receptions and 1,871 yards is out of this world, the 8 touchdowns are simply not. He's only surpassed the double-digit mark just once over his 5-year career. That number needs to go up considering the physical specimen that he is. With that being said, he's still my number 2 guy. Jones is big and fast. He ran a 4.39 40 at the combine for a 6'3", 220-pounder. That's unreal. Guys his size aren't supposed to be as athletically gifted as he is. The balance and quickness that he has, the change of direction, he's simply electric. He routinely saw double teams last year and still hauled in 136 balls on 193 targets and only recorded 10 drops, which is, pretty good for that type of ratio. Like I said before, however, I want to see that touchdown total increase. I have Odell Beckham at number 3, 96 receptions, 1,450 yards, and 13 scores. Not too shabby, and he's still only 23. Beckham has the softest hands in the league. We obviously all know how he can effortlessly pluck the ball out of the air with one hand. The strength he has with his hands to go along with the concentration is top-notch. And then he has the exceptional leaping ability as well. Beckham is an electric route runner, and when you combine his speed and body control, it makes it very difficult for a cornerback to play him. If you play off, he'll beat you with his ability after the catch. If you play him on the line, he uses that agility and quickness to make mincemeat out of that defensive back. In my opinion, he's the best yards after the catch receiver in the league, using that agility, quickness, and vision in the open field. He can score from anywhere on the field on any given play. He's as smooth as it gets in the NFL right now. DeAndre Hopkins broke out in a big way last year, emerging from Andre Johnson's shadow to post 111 catches for 1,521 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's my number 4 receiver. Pretty crazy numbers considering he had Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett tossing him the ball. Hopkins can do it all. He changes direction very effectively. He's very quick, which helps him with his route running in the intermediate game, but can also beat you deep with his good speed, leaping ability, body control, and crazy strong hands. The ball literally sticks to his hands like super glue. It's insane. If I want to nitpick, though, I still think there's some improvements that he can make with his after-the-catch ability. A.J. Green is number 5. He had 1,297 yards and 10 scores, which is pretty astonishing considering how he's basically the only Bengals receiving threat, and he gets all the attention from opposing defenses. Green is 6'4" and knows how to use his frame. His catch radius is one of the best in the NFL, and while he doesn't possess great speed, his timing, size, strength, concentration, long arms, and leaping ability make him nearly unbeatable at the catch point. The reason why I don't have him in the same class as Brown, Jones, and Beckham is because he's never been known as a demon after the catch. Coming off an injury-plagued 2015, Dez Bryant is number 6, and this actually might be a little unfair. He's a freakish athlete who high points the ball better than anyone in the game right now. I just got done talking about this with Green, but Bryant does it even better. It doesn't matter if he's double-teamed, triple-teamed, he can go up and get it. Due to his high-pointing ability, he's fantastic in the red zone. He's tough and barrels through defenders after the catch. Bryant missed the first 5 games of the season with a broken foot and never really recovered from it. He lacked the explosiveness we've seen from him, and he had a bunch of drops too. Brandon Marshall checks in at number 7. He tallied 1,502 yards and 14 touchdowns on 109 receptions, becoming the first player in NFL history to record 1,000 yards receiving with 4 different teams. He's a savvy player who uses his 6'4" frame to his advantage when boxing out defenders and makes plays on the ball. His route running is fluid and precise, and while he's never had sprinter speed, he's very tough and physical after the catch. Marshall does tend to have a case of the dropsies at times, lacks that concentration, but 2015 was a great bounce-back year for him. I've got Allen Robinson at number 8, and the sky's the limit for this Penn State product. 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns. The Jaguars certainly have one of the most underrated receiving combinations in the league in he and Allen Hurns. He's a great red zone threat, using his size and body control to post up defenders. He's a solid route runner, but it's his physicality and outstanding leaping ability which helps him beat cornerbacks at the catch point. His speed is deceptive. He's a long strider, but his yards after the catch ability, it can improve. Demaryius Thomas is number 9 on my list, with Peyton Manning clearly not being able to spin it the way he used to last year. It was the first time in 3 years that Thomas failed to get past the 1,400-yard and 10-touchdown mark. But he still managed to haul in 105 balls for 1,304 yards and 6 scores. Thomas is a big, explosive receiver who has the strength to beat press coverage and the speed to get vertical and separate. He also uses that strength and speed to his advantage in the screen game and has the ability to score from anywhere on the field. He's also a really, really good blocker. He did drop 12 passes a year ago, the 3rd most in the league. I mean, that's not really too good. Rounding out my top 10 is Alshon Jeffery, who put up 807 yards in just 9 games last year. Jeffery has the strongest hands in the game. The fingertip grabs that he makes are absolutely insane. And his strength at the catch point makes up for his lack of speed. The guy rarely loses in a jump ball situation. It's that lack of explosiveness, however, which is why he's number 10 as opposed to being higher. He's average after the catch and doesn't have the agility like most of the other receivers in the top 10. Some other guys on my list. I'm curious to see how Jordy Nelson bounces back after missing the year last year. He's number 11. I'm a huge fan of Jarvis Landry at number 12. He's as elusive in the open field as there is and could be the best possession receiver in the league. Let's talk about some underrated receivers. There's Jeremy Maclin at number 15, Doug Baldwin at 19, Keenan Allen at 22, John Brown at 23, and Michael Floyd at 31. Maclin has been underrated and undervalued his entire career, and hell, you can make the argument that I undervalued him even here. He's always had great hands. He had just 1 drop last year and is an exceptional route runner. Baldwin is a perfect complement for Russell Wilson because of his ability to extend his route when Wilson scrambles. He understands spacing and knows how to create it. Allen had a ridiculous 67 receptions over his first 8 weeks, tied for 3rd most all time before missing the last 8 games. Phillip Rivers completed 75.3% of his tosses towards Allen's direction. Brown has the talent to be an elite receiver in this game. He's explosive and extremely quick, but if he's going to be elite, he's got to decrease that drop rate. Floyd has always been undervalued in Arizona. He's also a great blocker. Brown, Floyd, and Larry Fitzgerald form, in my opinion, the best wide receiver trio in the league. As for some deep sleepers, there's Tyler Lockett at 33, Stephon Diggs at 34, Dante Moncrief at 39, and Willie Snead at 45. Lockett is sprinter speed and is a threat to score from anywhere on the field. He's quickly shown that he's a little bit more dynamic than just a punt returner. Charles Johnson broke out in 2014 and then fluttered last year. Diggs surpassed expectations as a rookie last season. Let's see if he can maintain that success and take it even further. He's a crisp route runner and tracks the ball really well. Moncrief doesn't have that game-changing speed, but knows how to use his body and catches the ball in tight coverage using his concentration. Snead is tough over the middle and can play in the slot or out wide. He does a solid job of using his body, and like Moncrief, he can catch the ball in tight spaces. If there was a receiver I was disappointed in last year, it was Randall Cobb. He had his chance last year to really break out with Jordy Nelson sideline, and I thought he disappointed pretty greatly. He's at 32. Another guy I think is overrated is Mohamed Sanu. He didn't even crack my top 50. I'm really not sure why the Falcons just gave him all that money. He's never really proven anything, and he's never really been an upper echelon receiver. So that's it for the wide receivers. Stay tuned. Tight ends are going to be coming tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the list. Make sure you comment below, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever realm you watch this on. Let me know what your rankings are. I'm Adrian Fedke. I'm out.